Hi, this is Dave Mass with Garaway Golf Coach Ryan Taggart, and this is Ticket TV, driven by Village Motors. All right, Ryan, first of all, congratulations, an 8th straight trip to the state golf tournament for you guys.
Yeah.
A 4th place finish. That's a fantastic effort for you guys again this year.
Yeah, thanks. We played well. And if you look at our composite score, we played well for the weekend. To win the state title, you should have to have 4 good scores both days. And we had 2 good scores the first day, 1 okay score, and then our 5-man, Brevin Weaver, came in with an 88, which that's a good score for a freshman. And the second day, I feel like we had 3 good scores, and then just weren't able to get that fourth the last day. But made good ground on the field the second day, which is encouraging.
Yeah, the Pirates finished up the first day with a 332, which was good for 7th place. Turned around the next day, shot a 323, which is the second best score of that day,
right
behind only the champion Gahanna Columbus Academy team, which is a great accomplishment for your kids. I want to take a look at those 2 scores and kind of compare those things. You guys went 332 on day 1, and I thought you left that course feeling despondent. I mean, you guys were really bummed out with that score.
Yeah, that was as discouraged after a round as I've been at the state tournament, maybe ever, certainly in a long time. And you never know how 16-year-old kids are going to respond to the state tournament and that pressure. And it was Ben Koshmeter's first experience at the state tournament. It was Brevin Weaver's first experience at the state tournament, and those 2 were certainly the most nervous. And we were disappointed after the way we played. I felt like we had a really good game plan coming in. I felt like we failed our game plan. I felt like that we carried the panic button a little too close to our golf bag that day.
Day 2, I know you guys went, kind of got away from the course,
Yeah.
away from everybody else, and kind of secluded yourselves and met a little bit. Turned that around and shot the 323 on the second day. And you told me outside of the interview here that you guys went home that day feeling really good about where you were.
Yeah.
So the difference of only 9 strokes from a 332 to a 323.
Right.
Only 9 strokes, but why the different mindset there?
The kids competed, Dave. Brock throws in an 89. Well, I mean, for 15 holes, he's competing with the best in the state. He just finished really poorly. Ben improved his score by almost 10 strokes. Brevin didn't play as well, but he played. His bad holes just really hurt him, and obviously, but they were his. He took some big numbers and played some really good golf. Other than that, Cooper, he competed. He was through 13 holes, he was even, and then played his last 6 5 over, and that is the toughest stretch of the course.
Yeah.
Just made bogeys. He didn't make big numbers, so he felt good. And Cole Mast, leaving as an All-Ohioan, the kids are really encouraged. Our purpose, when we got back Friday, we talked about accountability, and we talked about our purpose. And our purpose on Saturday was to prove to ourselves that we belonged on that stage. And a year from now, stepping on the Scarlet course, our goal is to win a state title. And we felt that if we didn't respond and leave with an encouraged feeling, that would be even more difficult as in 2015.
Yeah. Obviously you guys went down there with the mindset that you were going to win a state title.
Sure.
And you look over the total scores here, and Columbus Academy's 635 is 20 shots better than you guys.
Right.
It's tough to make up those 20 strokes. That's a tremendous golf team there too. I don't take anything away from them.
No, they
certainly earned it.
Yeah, they're solid. They beat us by 3 earlier in the year, and then they beat us by 11 at the district tournament. And over the course of 2 days, 20 strokes. That's significant.
Yeah.
And they're a senior laden team and a very good program. That was, I think, their 5th or 6th state title.
Yeah. Outside of that, I think you guys feel that you played almost good enough to finish second. I mean, you were 13 strokes out of second and only 5 out of third.
Right.
5 strokes is pretty easy to go back in your mind and make those up.
Yeah, over 36 holes, you can, I'm sure we felt like we threw 5 away per guy, but
per hole.
Yeah.
Actually, that first 18.
18 got us both days.
Yeah.
I mean, we counted a quad, a triple, a double, a bogey, and a birdie on the first day. And then the second day, Saturday, we counted a quad, 2 doubles, and 2 bogeys.
Yeah, so that hole in itself pretty much gets told.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is a long, 490-yard par 4 dogleg water.
Into the wind.
Bunkers, into the wind. It's just, that hole just begs you for big numbers.
Right.
You weren't the only team that was,
No,
that were putting up big numbers there.
But, in our practice round, our plan was play it as a par 5. And, if you can, the dogleg's hard right, so if we could lay up 40 yards short of the, of the green, put it on 2-putt, make a double at worst. And even if you make a double, we felt, you might lose some strokes on the field to the really good teams.
Right.
But you're not going to bury yourself. A double is not going to beat you on that hole.
Yeah.
And eights will.
Eights will in a hurry. Yeah, the snowmen are nasty.
Yeah.
You mentioned 2 amongst those scores that counted a birdie, which was Cole Mast on the first day. One of only 4 birdies on that hole throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah.
That kind of exemplified the way Cole played.
Yeah, Cole, I tell you what, he's tough. I mean, and as the season progressed, he really played well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be an All-Ohioan, that's in my 12 years at Garaway, that's our 5th All-Ohioan. It's the 4th that I've been the head coach of, and so I'm extremely proud of him. And he just played, and he started out as weak. Bogey, double,
yeah,
and had to make a 30-footer for bogey on his first hole. So, and then he calmed down, and Dave, in his last 33 holes, he was only 5 over.
Yeah.
So that shot a 34 on his finishing 9 of his high school career, and you probably can't say. I mean, that was the lowest 9-hole total for the weekend, and he's. Not many get to say they left that way.
Yeah, and that's got to be a thrill for him. And
Sure.
what a way to go out as a senior.
Absolutely.
And you kind of expect your seniors to step up under this pressure and play like that, and he certainly did.
Yeah, he certainly set a good example and a model of what seniors are supposed to do, not just on the course, but how they're supposed to lead. He's accountable, and he allowed me to hold him accountable. He allowed his teammates to hold him accountable, and probably most importantly, he held his teammates accountable.
Yeah.
And that's important.
It is, and we also talked earlier about your freshman Brevin Weaver, and his total of 182 was the second lowest score for a 5th man, and that speaks volumes as to how talented and how deep this group is.
Yeah, trying to figure out who was playing the best at the end of the year was the toughest I've had in my 10 years. And Brevin, he scored for us at the sectionals. At the district, he shot an 87, but beat all of the 5 men of the teams that were around us. So he did his job and gave us a good tiebreaker. And then to come to the state tournament and shoot an 88 on Friday in his first round, I mean, he rolled his tee shot, turned around, and smiled at us. And I'm like, man, what are you smiling for? That's not funny. But ended up making a par on a really tough par 5. And, he came in with an 88, which it's not a score that, going into the weekend, you're like, boy, I hope we count an 88 today. But it's a lot better than some of the numbers we've counted.
We saw a lot of much bigger numbers than that.
So
it's and you guys shot, that was your second best composite score that you have ever shot at state.
Right.
And you've won 3 state titles.
Yeah.
So obviously different courses. The Scarlet course down at the OSU is just incredibly difficult.
Right.
But still, these are numbers that you can be actually pretty pleased with.
Sure.
I mean, all things considered. Considering where you came from early on in the
right.
tournament.
And I think that's the encouraging thing walking away. In 04, those kids played the gray course, and they don't hold boys tournaments on that course anymore. It's just for the Division I and II girls. So that composite would have been lower. But other than that, the only lower composite score would have been at Foxfire. And, when Kevin shot a 69 and Jake shot a 72 on the second day. Kevin still holds the record for the low composite score for that tournament.
Wow. Well, just a super season for you guys, and again, it's just kind of a continuation of the success that you've had over the years. Obviously, the program continues to roll on. with the returning group that features everybody back but Cole Mast, I think you've got to be excited about what
Sure.
the future holds.
Sure, yeah, you know, I'm really proud of the product that we've been able to produce. It's been it's just so many different facets kind of come into our success. You know, the parents of our kids are so supportive.
Yeah.
The school and the community, we get sponsors that help support our kids. The golf course, you know, all of these different angles. If one of them's missing, you know, we're not as productive and successful. So I'm really proud of that. Looking forward to next year, we're encouraged because we're going to be a veteran group next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thing is, 3 out of the top 4 teams that finished at the state tournament come out of our district, and 3 of the teams that didn't make it down here, missed it by a handful of strokes at the district tournament, and they return everybody.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if we don't get better and we get complacent, you know, this will be the last one, you know, and so we just gotta keep getting better. We gotta continue to put ourselves in tough spots over the summer. The kids have to hold themselves accountable over the summer, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But with the returning group that we have and the experience that we have, I'm encouraged.
Good. Well, there you have it, another state trip for the Garaway Pirate golf team. Coach, congratulations on another great season, another fun finish. We look forward to following you again next year, and till then, we'll just keep working. I'm sure you guys will be out there hitting it around.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
For HomesCountyTicket.com, I'm Dave Mass.